Well, I've been around cannabis for most of my life. My brother smoked it. He always, I used to run into his room and he used to throw me out because he was smoking his weed. And then, after he'd leave, I'd run into his room again and take some pot from him and give it to my parents, and they'd flush it down the toilet. So I've been around it for my whole life, and I guess I've been smoking since I was 12 years old, and
Wow.
I guess I haven't really stopped. I don't smoke tobacco. I'm not down with tobacco. I just love the cannabis and kind of moved up a stage now, and I'm just smoking resin.
Yeah, no leafy.
I'll still smoke a joint here and there, but
Yeah.
most of the time I'm purely resin now.
That's funny how people who, the ultimate pot connoisseurs don't even smoke pot.
Well, you have to have great pot to make great
Great
resin.
hash,
So,
right.
I mean, without having the building block right there, you're not going to have the message.
Mm-hmm. What's your ideal way of making a resin from the pot?
Well, since bubble bags came around, I guess I love making isolator hash, water hash, cold water extraction, and then for about the past year, I've been on a dry sift fix.
Dry sift.
Dry sift, and the flavor in dry sift is incredible.
But you get dry sift that will actually bubble, right?
We get it to
Yeah.
go beyond bubbling,
Right.
like go right through the screen,
Full melt.
full melt.
Right.
And
Now, what's the process? Well, the dry sift we know, but to get the purest hash, what do you think is the best way to get the best piece of hash? If somebody just has trim and buds or whatever.
yeah, I would say good.
I don't mean the best product. I just mean the best process. And I find that a lot of people, they don't necessarily dry it all the way. And sometimes I call that sizzle hash. When there's still water in it, and that, and sometimes it'll even mold and get funky smelling. How do you dry it out?
Well, that actually is one of the biggest things in hash making is not bruising the fruit, pressing the hash while it's wet when you pull it out of the bags, and you compress it to try to get all the water out. But what you're really doing is pressing all the water into the resin heads.
Okay.
And then drying your hash, you really want to break up the hash evenly and get air underneath it to let it dry to a complete 24 to 48 hours, depending on where you live, and dry it completely, and try not to press it up.
You're saying spread it out as much as
Spread
possible.
it out on a screen and break it up and chop it up really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that's the best way, and having good quality trim and dried properly trim.
Mm-hmm.
We personally like to use dry trim rather than fresh frozen trim to make isolator with.
Some people like to freeze it right after they've
Yeah,
cut it off.
Exactly.
Right.
I think it acts differently at the end stage.
Okay. Well, let's get to growing as well. Done? I'll pass you the mic too.
Throw a question
Yeah, I
out
don't
there.
know. I mean, obviously people have their questions as far as, any tips or, styles of growing that you guys prefer.
Well, just so it's known for me, I'm an equal opportunity smoker. I like hash and weed and dry sift and pretty much
You
any
smoke it all?
cannabis product except for edibles.
Not edibles.
I'm over the edible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little too intense for me.
Right.
Too much body, too much commitment. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people want to know how breeding is actually accomplished. The whole idea of crossing a male plant with a female plant to get the seeds and stuff. So, tell us what your process is for that.
Start off first with a goal, maybe an idea, maybe a dream or something. You have two plants that you love already, and you just think, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could mix these two? And so then that's where you start. You start off with something like that, a plan or a goal, and then from there, if you have the plants, for instance, LA Woman, it's one of our new ones, and so we have the Marsha Mean Green. It's Marsha Mean Green times LA Confidential. And so we knew we had the two winners. We just had to get them together, And so the LA Confidential male always produces, really good, high quality offspring. And so it was real simple to hit it with hit it to the Martian Mingring, and then start doing some work. And then we did some selection of it, found some real mutants that made baseball bats, and some real.
How do you select for male plants? I mean, people know what a great female plant looks like, what the characteristics are, but how do you know with the male what the proper characteristics are?
Right. A lot of it is, growth structure as it's growing. I mean, you start a bunch of seeds, and usually the one you like the most turns out to be male. Seems to kind of be the way it works. And so if that was your favorite already, because of whatever reason, its growth, or wow, this is going to be a great mother plant to produce clones, or it's real vigorous, or whatever the reason is, that usually makes a good male as well, because it's going to produce a lot of pollen, and it's going to produce offspring that are going to, hopefully the female version is going to be similar to that. Smell, absolutely.
Smell, I think, smell.
You rub the
rubbing
stem.
the stem. There's even some chemicals you can spray on your males to reverse them into a female.
Wow.
So you could really, really see what your male is. Smell, you could actually smoke it.
So we know that there are chemicals that take a female and produce that to become a male. Have a male flower. That they use that when they make feminized seeds, right?
Right.
And you guys have some feminized seeds.
Yeah,
as well.
we do the silver thiosulfite method, STS, to create our feminized seeds with our genetics. The majority of the cannabis world right now is basically focusing on feminized seeds. The people.
Why do you think it's the marketplace? People want to grow feminized seeds, or yeah? I know in Spain they love to grow feminized seeds.
The marketplace
throughout Europe, I think.
Without Europe and in America too.
Throughout
Europe.
Europe.
It's easier for the people. They can just grow plants and get females.
They don't have to kill the males.
They don't have to kill the males. They don't have to know what a male is.
But do you think the genetics suffers at all through the process, or is it
Only if you use weak genetics in the beginning.
in the beginning?
If you use strong genetics, you have strong offspring.
Mm-hmm.
If you use Hermy genetics to make seeds, you're going to end up with Hermy seeds at the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you start off with something good and quality, non-hermaphroditic genes, you're not going to have a problem with the feminized seeds.
Mm-hmm.
What you will have a problem with eventually, if everybody just keeps growing feminized because, I don't want to say lazy, but maybe they don't know how to grow. They've never grown before, so they started with female seeds, or they've only grown from clones. So
they've never seen a male plant.
Right, they're a little intimidated maybe by the whole process. I don't want to ruin my room or risk the time it took and have something fail. But if that happens, in our opinion, say for 20 years and nobody's buying regular seeds, then eventually it's going to get so stagnant that it's going to all just be kind of like the same bland smoke. So
there should always be F1 hybrids on the market that come from a male and female.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if the market is begging for female and begging for autoflower, dwarf strains and all these other things, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that's the way it's going to always be. And
right.
I have the opinion, we have the opinion or the feeling that eventually it's going to flip the other way. And right now there's seed companies that are based on just female seeds. They just do feminized.
Some of them are just female, just auto-flowering seeds. No,
right, even just autoflower female.
Both.
And
and
that's great.
You just plant the seed, walk away, and come back.
Fine. Every
Anytime
company
of
has
year.
one. We have one now as well. But the thing,
It's real simple to make feminized seeds, and it's real simple to open up a company. I mean, anybody can do it. Feminized seeds, anybody, they can do it.
that's the thing. Eventually, if it stays like that, right now the feminized seeds are worth more than anything. Everybody wants to buy them, so they become more expensive. Now they're starting to get lower in price. But I think eventually that the regular seeds, the naturally occurring seeds, male and female, are going to end up being worth more. And like right now, you can barely give them away. Nobody wants them. Everyone's like, oh, those, I only want feminized. But I think in a few years, once people, maybe not have too many new things introduced in their crew or whatever, they're going to go looking, and we see these people every day that come to our shop, and they just want something fresh, something new.